Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's one, we're going to be covering the new Bungie TWAB that just came out on the 8th of April. So to start off with the article, Bungie is actually doing a charity fundraiser, and they're trying to raise money for kids with mental disabilities and just families who are going through hardship with the pandemic. And down here you can see if you donate a minimum of $50 to the cause, you'll get this emblem. I believe they said it's still in still in the works. So yeah, and then we got a whole list of other things you can get here depending on how much you donate. That's all good stuff. Glad to see it. And then down here, this is obviously the big deal, and this is why it's up towards the top of the article. Iron Banner. It's about time. Iron Banner is finally getting some new weapons to come into light, and some of them might be coming just in time. So we're getting two reprise weapons, the sniper and the hand cannon, and then the two entirely new weapons are the light machine gun and the shotgun. And the shotgun's going to be probably what most people are going to be after, especially because they are going to be reworking like things like Astral Horizon and Felwinters Lie. So glad to see that finally, after God knows how long, they're introducing new loot into Iron Banner. We're very happy to see it. As you can see down here, the never-ending search for balance. We got Astral Horizon and Felwinter's Lie. They're gonna be hitting these guys pretty hard. So weapon archetypes down here. We got aggressive 120 RPM hand cannons are very dominant in PvP, and we've received enough feedback that we want to rein them in a bit without completely taking away their range benefits. These weapons will now have damage and aim assist fall off distance reduced by between 2 and 4 meters based on range stat. This solely halves the range buff they received in Beyond Light. So 120s getting reined in pretty heavy there. Not sure how much that'll hit them, but the way it sounds is they're still going to be probably the go-to weapon at medium to slightly longer range, but it definitely sounds like they're going to get a little bit of a hit. You know, you might not be getting those crispy 2 taps too far away. Vortex frame swords with falling guillotine, wow, can't talk, now viable forever. We need to adjust it a little, as its damage output is flat out higher than all other legendary swords. With this change, will allow it to keep its high damage output, but are reducing its full reserves damage output by reducing the number of heavy attacks you'll be able to perform. Full energy heavy attack ammo costs increase from 4 to 6. So that's pretty significant. That's a 50% requirement for the ammo buff. So you're definitely not going to be running around with guillotine forever and, you know, just mowing things down, spinning around, doing the, you know, click to win or the spin to win maneuver. That's definitely gonna impact it quite a bit. But overall, it's still probably going to be meta for the legendary swords. I don't think any other legendary sword, even after this nerf, and it already had a pretty good sized nerf before, but even after this nerf, I still think it's going to be meta for legendaries as far as swords go. Chip damage. Certain weapons, swords and bastion, bypass shields by varying amounts, which has caused numerous issues with stasis in case enemies encounter mechanics and other content. We have removed chip damage from swords and bastion. I do know, like, with champions and stasis, things do get kind of weird there, so we'll see how that goes. Quick draw. This is the big one for the perks. This perk is intended to prove faster swap speed, but is also passively buffs handling by plus 100. This completely negates the downside of using low handling weapons such as aggressive shotgun snipers and hand cannons, which isn't something we want to encourage. Those weapons should have a downside, and working around those completely via a perk isn't healthy. We don't think allowing a fast swap to shotgun subfamily with the highest one-hit kill range is great either. So the handling bonus is now removed 1 second after switching to this weapon or upon aiming down sights, and replace quick draw with surplus on new and existing drops of Felwinter's Lie and Astral Horizon. I definitely think this is a good a good thing because after the nerf to snipers, not as many people snipe, so now everybody's basically just a shoddy ape, and they all, like 99% of people, resort to astral and Felwinters, and you know, they both have quick draw, so people have definitely been abusing the shit out of those two shotguns. So I'm glad to see now that they're getting reined in, and you know, they should be harder to use. You know, they're the slowest firing weapon, shotgun archetype in the game, so they should be the slowest to use, but instead, you know, they're by far just as quick, if not quicker than most of them. So I'm glad to see that they're getting reined in for sure. It's been quite a while. Felwinters has been out in the crucible on the prowl for quite some time as the dominant shotgun, and I'm glad to see it come back in. Frenzy, this is a perk that I've actually personally been chasing, and I'm unfortunate to say that I haven't even gotten a weapon, or at least the god roll weapons I've been chasing with Frenzy on them, and it's already getting a nerf. So this perk has extremely high uptime in PvE, to the point where it's clearly a better choice than most other damage perks. We like the high uptime and want to preserve that, but wanted to award less damage than harder to activate damage perks. So reduce bonus damage from plus 20% to plus 15%. I definitely agree with that. I think that getting 3 kills with Rampage and getting a kill and then reloading with kill clip should definitely reward you more damage for a brief time than this, which they technically do. But at this point, like 20% damage constantly while in combat is kind of ridiculous. So I do see why that needs to get reined in, and I think it's a good median, right? Because the damage boosting perks are harder to activate, and this, you literally just have to be in combat to have it active. So I definitely think it's still a very strong perk. Like 15% bonus damage just for being in combat, that's like pretty noticeable. Reservoir Burst, moving on, now increases magazine size in addition to its other effects, reduces full battery bonus damage from 33 to 25%. Upcoming content requires revisiting power level of a damage perk that can be activated simply by having a full magazine. And then wink wink nudge nudge, say no more. And then moving on, lastly down here is the exotics. The Lament is getting hit, as we could probably all suspect. It's kind of been ridiculous. It's even crazier than pre-patch Guillotine. It's just absolutely insane. So this weapon is a clear outlier for swords damage. So for the health of the heavy weapon diversity, we're pulling it back a bit. Reduce damage of revved heavy attack by approximately 16%, and note that the Lament retains standard anti-barrier despite removing chip damage, so it's still retaining some of its like exotic traits, but it's taken a 16% damage nerf, which I feel like it sounds like a big deal, but I feel like it's still going to be absolutely insane. 16% is a good chunk, but it's really not that much. It's still definitely going to be crazy, but I'm glad they're kind of reining it in a little bit. And then Bastion, for all you Bastion users out there, since we're removing chip damage, Bastion gets something else instead. We've noticed increased feedback on Bastion and higher than normal usage in PvP, so are making a small change here, and we'll revisit Bastion later. Intrinsically staggers unstoppable champions, that's actually kind of crazy, and then increased spread angle by 13%. So that's pretty much it. The rest of the article down here is just them like fixing like bugs and stuff like that, and you got some like screenshots or whatever down there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The biggest thing here is definitely the Iron Banner for me, and then having some of these other weapons reined in is definitely good to hear. Really curious to see how well this shotgun will be performing. But I'm just really happy. Like, honestly, I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. I'm very happy that Iron Banner is finally getting some love, because it has been God knows how long since they have done anything with Iron Banner. And I'm really happy to see that. And also, at the same time, I'm glad to see the Shotgun Apes get a nerf too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can go check out the article. I'll leave it down in the description below. But yeah, that's going to do it. Pretty promising TWAB. Glad to see it. Pretty solid. And yeah, that is going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, peace out. Have a good one.